Hey everybody, it's Gail, and today I have a vintage dog coat to show off. Ooh, we are fancy in our house. So here's a photo of the very good boy in the original vintage dog coat, and I don't have an actual date for this pattern, but based on the photography and the colors used, I think it might be 1970s. It might be late 60s into the 70s. But I'm going to go with 1970s. I can't really pinpoint why. I've just seen a lot of vintage photography and patterns at this point. My brain went 1970s. So this was a perfect coat for the Bean because it is made for a longer dog, and she's a long girl. And so what I did was I got the original yarn called for its worsted weight on a 6 millimeter hook, and I had a mysterious heavy worsted that had come in a Knitpicks delivery, and I'm not kidding you guys. I went through every pattern in my house twice. I have no idea what I bought it for. Then it became a dog coat, and here's the back of the dog coat. So you make the back first, and it's made so that it kind of curls up on the edges here, so it can go over the back nice and smooth. And then you make the belly part, which is here, so this goes over the chest. And then these longer pieces, you actually work it from here up, and then they are meant to wrap over the back, in front of the back legs, like it shows in the photo. And then they called for press studs, which are those metal snap buttons, is what they are. I, at this point, am refusing to add more notions to my various craft supplies until I use some notions that could also be used otherwise. And so what I did originally was I wrapped the straps as shown so that they were like right in the middle of the back, and we put the coat on her, and it fit beautifully. She likes a longish coat. It's a little long. It just barely touches her tail. Problem is, she's a very aerodynamic dog on the underside. It's a big chest, and then her stomach curves way up. So the part here that's supposed to be keeping her tummy warm was hanging down, and she was stepping on it. So I got her out of it, and also it was a little loose in the neck. So that's when I came in and I put it together by bringing the neckline in, and I had already sewn the chest piece to the shoulder pieces. Those are also supposed to be metal buttons based on the pattern, but it's really easy to sew them together and make them fit. And then the other day, when I finally remembered to do this, because it's been sitting on my side table waiting, I got her out of the last pair of pajamas she was in, got this over her, and was able to mark using stitch markers where to put the straps for most efficient use. And I'm going to sew buttons there. So they're going to be sort of crisscrossed. And the reason I'm doing that is because when I was pulling it on, when the straps were just down the middle of the belly, it was a little snug to get over her ribs, and I want to be able to make it as easy as possible. She doesn't mind having stuff put over her head, which is why I went with the collar instead of the metal buttons, which would have allowed it to be, which will make it easier to put on if your dog does not like having stuff like pulled over their head. She doesn't care. She's down here right next to me. But I'm going to go get those buttons put on because I have to figure out which buttons I'm putting on. And then I will get her kitted out in it, and you'll get a little fashion show. But before that, the heavy worsted that I used here is Knitpicks Snugglepuff, which is a cotton nylon blend. And I chose that because she's got plenty of cold weather jammies and onesies and all kinds of things. And so this is for more of like early spring, which as I'm filming it is now, that she'll be able to wear until she decides she wants to be naked for several months. And like I said, I believe I said you work on a 6 millimeter. This is a beautiful, soft, lovely yarn, but it also looks like Knitpicks is discontinuing it because it's only had one color for months. I'm thinking we're about to get a variation, or there is another one that is made of the same cotton. It's Pima cotton. I think it's 100% Pima cotton, but it looks like it has the same texture. So I'm wondering if they're retiring this line and they're just going to send you to the other line. So keep that in mind. And And again, this is the original pattern called for worsted, so you don't need a heavy worsted. It's just, I figured she was probably a little longer than the dog in the photo, and I was right. And now that I've said all that extra stuff, I'm going to go get buttons on this thing, and I will be back. Hey everybody, it is not the most graceful of shots of my dog, but she is wearing the sweater. Here it is. These two buttons here are from, I just have some vintage buttons, and they fit real nice. So there is still a problem because I did this to tighten it up over her belly, and as you can see, there is still quite a bit of open space where I didn't want there to be open space. So I think maybe the answer is that this is not the right sweater for her. By the way, this dramatic envisioning of, oh my god, I'm so hungry, I never get fed ever. I just want everybody to know real quick. There is food on the floor. She's just doing this. She does this.
She did that as well.
Yeah.
She did the thing.
Yes.
She put the food on.
As Sean said, she did do that. She dumps it on the floor. But as long as she's distracted, there's the back of it. So it is very cute. I think it's just, she's got kind of a weird shaped body, so we have a belly hole. What I'll probably end up doing is dropping this off for donation to a dog of a more discerning size and letting it have a good home that way. But it was fun, and it was a quick project, which is always nice. And it would be easy to adjust it to fit her a little better, I think. It's just, you know, didn't do it this time. Anyway, real quick, let me flip the camera here. Hey! Yeah, so good project, lots of fun. No problems with the pattern at all. It is also very easy to customize and size, because they just, basically, as long as the front and the back are the same length, you're golden. And it's all in the pattern, which I will link to in the basement. If it is no longer available from any sources on Etsy, which is where I think I got it, I will, as always, just upload it to the media files on my website so you can get a hold of it. You can probably still hear her licking like she's never had food in her life. Drama queen.
Licking the empty bowl.
Yeah, licking the empty bowl with great intensity. What a ridiculous creature we keep in our house. Anyway, as always, if you enjoy what I do here, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, all that fun stuff, and I will see you when I see you.